'cause I'm a fool for your love.
Starting a new series, which I'm super excited about, and it's going to be a bridal makeup series. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, and the reason being is because I feel like there's so many options when it comes to bridal makeup, but everyone ends up just going for the same type of look. I know for me, a lot of my clients aren't really used to wearing makeup on a daily basis, so they don't really know a lot about makeup. And I feel like everyone just kind of ends up going for the same look when it comes to their wedding day. They just say, you know, classic, bridal, glam, but not too glam. And everyone kind of ends up going for the same tones. I feel like everyone thinks like, okay, I just need to do champagne on the lid and like browns in the crease and that's it. But I wanted to show that you can do a lot more than that. There's so many options when it comes to bridal makeup, and so this is going to be fun for you guys as viewers, just to see different bridal looks that I come up with, but also it's going to be great for my clients because, you know, they can kind of get some inspiration when it comes to their bridal looks, and I'm going to show like a variety of different looks. Today we started off with like a pretty glam bridal look, but I'm also going to be doing some softer ones and just show different color combinations that you can do as well. Like I said, you don't have to just do like champagne on the lid and just like brown in the crease and call it a day. You can do something like this, which is a little bit more cool toned and has a little bit more of like a ivory to it and not so champagne and gold. And I feel like a look like this is actually really beautiful and complements a white wedding dress really well. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of share, you know, some options when it comes to bridal makeup. Although I have tons of brides pictures that you can choose from and look at as inspiration, like I said, a lot of them are the same type of look because a lot of my brides just ask for the same type of look because they don't realize that there's lots of options out there. So I just wanted to do a series dedicated to bridal looks and show the different options that, you know, that are out there when it comes to bridal makeup. So if you want to see how to get this look, which is pretty glam, like I said, but perfect for brides, then just keep watching. Starting off with skin, I'm actually going to show you my full routine for the look that I'm going for today, just because I really want you to get the full picture. And for bridal makeup, especially on my bridal clients, but if I was doing my makeup on my wedding day or getting my makeup done, I would want full coverage, I would want highlight and contour, and something that's going to last. Because, you know, when you are getting your makeup done for your wedding, a lot of times you are getting ready early in the morning, or at least your bridesmaids are starting to get ready, and then you go towards the end. But it is a very long day. It is a very emotional day. You're going to be sweating, you're going to be crying, you're going to be, you know, flustered. So your makeup needs to last. And also, you definitely want to highlight and contour, even if you're not really a makeup girl and you're kind of scared of that whole thing. I know it can be scary, I know it can be intimidating, but it makes the biggest difference in photos. And it's just gonna make your face look structured, and your face is just going to pop rather than just look like one color and have no definition. So starting off, I'm gonna be using a primer water. This step isn't really necessary, but it's going to kind of just refresh my skin since I did wash it, you know, like an hour or so ago. I just kind of want to freshen it, add some moisture again. This one is by Giovanni. I don't know, I got it at Marshall's. There's tons of primer sprays like this. So I'm just going to spray my face. And it just feels really good, and it smells really good, so that's a plus. Then once that is kind of settled into the skin, if you need to like kind of pat it in, that's fine. I'm gonna go in with a primer. And lately I've been loving the e.l.f. matte putty primer, not the original, but the matte one. This has been a great primer. I really don't have anything bad to say about it, and what's great is it's really inexpensive. But another primer I definitely recommend is the Benefit Professional Becca Evermatte if you are really, really oily. Yeah, those are the two that I would recommend. Or Touch in Soul No Pore Blem. That's another really good, not problem, pore blem. But that's another really good primer. So I just kind of take it on my nail. I just kind of dig it out of the packaging. And I warm it up in my hands, my fingers. And I'm going to focus this on my T-zone, because that is the area that does tend to get oily. But I also like to put some down here, right on the jawline, which may seem weird. But the reasoning for that is because I feel like this area is one of the first areas that starts to wear off with makeup, especially on a wedding. And it's because weddings, you're hugging a lot of people, you're kissing a lot of people, hello, goodbye, whatever. And your jawline tends to be one of the first areas that kind of hits somebody. So I find makeup does wear off in that area. Like even on holidays for me, like, you know, I have a huge family. My mom and dad both come from very big families. So on holidays, I literally like have to kiss a million people hello and goodbye. So I find that is like the one area that tends to wear off, just because, you know, when you hug somebody, it tends to kind of like rub on them a little bit. You try not to get it. You try not to like touch them, but you know, it just happens. So I do like to put primer in this area just to help with the longevity of the makeup. Okay, now that we have primer on, we're gonna move on to foundation. And you guys, I found a new love when it comes to foundation. Now I know I swear by the L'Oreal Fresh Wear. I still love that foundation. It's still like my go-to, but I actually haven't been reaching for it in about a month. I reached for it a couple times, but I've been using this because I got this in my Ipsy bag or my Ipsy box. And this is the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. This stuff is so good. Now, it's not as mattifying as the L'Oreal Fresh Wear, so I do want to mention that. But my skin is a little bit drier this time of year just because it's cold out. Also, we did use that mattifying primer, so it's fine, but I just love the look of this. It's really, really lightweight, but has like the perfect amount of coverage and never looks cakey. So I've really been liking this, and I've been using the shade Tan. There's not a very wide shade range, but the reason why I really like this one is it's like the perfect undertone for me. Sometimes tanner foundations can give off like a pink undertone on me, where this is like just perfect. It's more neutral. So it does come with like this doe foot applicator. Since I'm just putting it on myself, I'm just gonna apply it directly to my face. But obviously if you were doing this on a client, I would not apply it directly to your face, to their face. I would definitely maybe put it on a palette and then work from there, or you know, something like that. I would not put this on anybody's face. So I just kind of put this all over like that. And then I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. complexion sponge. Just gonna make sure that it's not like really damp. And this is my favorite way to apply this because I literally just take the flat side and I just press this foundation into my skin. And it just gives the most beautiful coverage, the most beautiful finish. You can get this foundation at Sephora. I'm actually thinking of ordering another shade. Right now I'm tan from a spray tan, so like this shade works. Actually my hands are tanner than this shade, but I don't want to go too dark. But yeah, I'm thinking of getting like a one shade lighter just for when I don't have a spray tan. But yeah, I really, really like this a lot. And I just love how lightweight it is. Like it just, like you don't even feel it on your skin. Ew, the wind. I hear the wind right now. It sounds so creepy. And I did fill in my brows, obviously. These are not my natural brows. I didn't do anything different with them. I just used my tried and true Benefit brow products. I used the Precisely My Brow in 3.75 first to kind of map everything out. Then I go in with the CoverGirl in shade, I'm gonna say 4. Yeah, I think it's shade 4. And then I finished it off with the Gimme Brow. And I just always love my brows whenever I use my Benefit brow products. But yeah, I didn't do like anything different for them. I just filled them in like usual. With foundation, I always recommend starting with a little and then adding. Don't go in with a ton because that's when things get cakey. You're better off just layering if you need to. But as you can see, this just gives such a fresh look to the skin, like so good. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with some concealers. I'm actually gonna use 2 drugstore concealers. I know drugstore products are good, you guys. You don't have to be scared to use drugstore. All because it's drugstore doesn't mean that it sucks. So I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl Trueblend Undercover concealer first. And if you're wondering, this is in the shade Golden Natural, and I'm gonna highlight with this. And then I'm gonna go in with the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer. This is in C3. This is a really bright shade, but I personally love a bright under eye, so I don't mind. But I just really love the longevity of this concealer. I feel like it just lasts all day. So I'm going to take a mini little blender. I've really been liking these little mini blenders for blending out highlight. It's really nice to like be able to get in between the brows without disrupting like the actual brows themselves, because it just fits so perfectly. I get mine from Real Techniques. Because these ones are, I've tried other small blenders, but these ones are like the softest and most bouncy ones. I've even been using a lot of little blenders on my clients. I don't know, I really like them right now. And then I'm going to go back in with my regular sponge that I was using to blend out the foundation and just kind of go over that area just to make sure it's all really blended and seamless. And now I'm just going to blend out the under eye. And don't forget to get this inner corner area because that always is dark in there, so you want to brighten that up. For me, concealer I feel like is always the biggest transformation. That and brows I feel like really like transform a face. Okay, now I'm going to go into my face powder and I'm just going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Light Powder. And this is just a great powder to really set everything in place. I just personally really love it. So I'm going to use this to really set my face before I go in with baking powder. Because, yeah, we are going to be going in with some powder to bake and really set everything. But I want to apply an overall face powder first. Okay, now I'm gonna go in. I forgot to cream contour. I'm so mad. Okay, we're gonna skip it because I don't want to apply cream on top of the powder. I just feel like it might get a little cakey. So we're gonna skip the cream contour. We'll just go in with a lot of powder contour, but I would use the Tantour by Huda Beauty because this is like the best cream contour ever. It's not heavy at all and it blends like a dream, and I use shade Fair. But yeah, it's okay. We'll just go in with some other powders to really give us some structure on this face. But typically I do like to cream contour my brides. Now let's go in with the Huda Beauty Sugar Cookie Loose Powder. I love this powder. When I want my makeup to stay, that is what I would use. So I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes. Also on my chin. on my upper lip, down my nose, and in between my forehead. That's the areas that I really want to make sure I am setting in place. And if you want to take what's left and just go right here to just kind of carve out that contour that we're going to do. But also, like I said, this area tends to wear off. By baking here, that's going to really help with that problem. So now that we look crazy. Okay, so now I want to go in and really start bronzing and all of that. So I'm just going to go in with the MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. And I'm just going to really warm up my face with this. And then I'm just going to take a little bit on like an angled brush and just kind of go like underneath my nose. I don't really like to like fully contour my nose. It's not really something I like to do just because my nose doesn't really look good contoured, but I do like to add bronzer to the tip. And then I'm also gonna add some to the jawline too, just because I feel like I need to. And then I'm gonna go in and kind of sculpt my face out a little bit with this contour palette, and I'm just gonna take this shade right here, and again just kind of sculpt out those cheekbones. So when it comes to wiping away the bake, I like to take a little bit of a brightening powder for underneath the eyes, put a little bit on my brush, and then wipe away the bake. I don't know, it just gives a more airbrush finish and also brightens up that area. For blush, I'm going to be using this palette by NARS. This is the Wanted 2 palettes. And I'm just going to take, this corally shade, but also mix in a little bit of this light pink. I don't want it to be too coral, but I also don't want it to be too pink. I kind of like a mix. And I like to just put a little bit on my nose as well. For highlight, I'm just going to take this MAC Hyperreal Glow. I know some brides like more of a subtle glow, just like it to be a little bit softer, and then some brides want to be glowing. So it really just depends on your, style. But anyways, I'm going to be taking the first 2 shades and just mixing them together. And this is such a pretty highlighter. The formula just goes on like butter and it just looks so nice. And I like to highlight all the high points of my face. But if you want to just keep it to the cheekbones, you can do that. Like if you get really oily and you don't want to look even more oily, I wouldn't recommend applying any to the forehead area. And that concludes the skin part of this video. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the eyes. So for the eyes, I actually want to make them pretty dramatic. This is more of a glam bridal look, but don't worry, I got you covered if you like a softer, more natural look. I'm going to be doing, like I said, multiple looks, but I kind of wanted to start with a dramatic look because I know as a bride, I would probably want to be glam. It's such a special day. And you have this gorgeous dress on, your hair is professionally done, so I like a glam bridal look. But don't worry, like I said, we'll be doing some more natural ones. But to start off, I'm actually going to be using my PLOUISE Base. I'm going to be using Rumor 1 and Rumor 3. I'm just going to mix them together. So for the eyeshadows today, I'm actually going to be using eyeshadows that I use on my clients, and I never use products from my kit because I don't need to. I have my own collection of makeup, but I wanted to keep this pretty authentic and use products that I always use on my brides anyway, and create a look with brides that products that I actually carry in my kit. So now that our eye is primed, I'm gonna do one eye on camera and then I'll do the other eye off of camera. I'm going to be taking my COZZETTE eyeshadows. These are great. They are just so beautiful. And I love them. I love the mattes. I love the shimmers. And they're really not that expensive and you get a good amount of product. I'm going to be taking this light neutral brown. Another great bridal palette that I love and has super similar colors to the ones I'm using is the ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. That is an amazing palette for brides or even bridesmaids, whatever. So I'm just going to take this color and work it into my crease. And then I'm also going to go into my bronzer that I use on my face. And I always like to just put a little bit of bronzer in my crease just to kind of tie the eyes into the face. It's just like back in the day, a lot of makeup artists used to put whatever blush they put on the cheeks in the crease of the eye just to kind of tie everything together. Now we don't really put blush. Like, we don't really put pinks like that in our crease, but, you know, it's the same type of concept. I just use bronzer instead of blush. I am going to highlight my brow bone. It's going to take a little bit of a shimmery, like, champagne color and just pop that there just to make the eyebrows pop a little bit more. And then I like to go back in with my blending brush and just make sure that it's all blended. Now I'm going to deepen up this look a little bit and I'm going to actually mix these two shades together. I don't really want this to be super cool toned. I do want to add a little bit of warmth just because personally I like a little bit of warmth in my eyes and I don't like all cool tones. So again, I'm going to mix these two together. I'm going to do mostly this one, but then I'm going to add a little bit of this shade just to add a little warmth, like I said, for the 5th time. And I'm just using a smaller little blending brush and just focusing this on the outer corner of my eye. Now I'm going to go in with this chocolatey brown right here and just apply that to the outer corner as well, just to deepen everything up. Bring this color a little bit further in just to give a little bit of contrast in this inner corner here. That way when I go to apply my lid color, there's like the slightest cut crease, but it's not too much. I don't really want it to look like a cut crease, but I also don't want it to just be all light shades in the inner corner. I do want there to be a little bit of contrast in here. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this STILA Shimmer and Glow Liquid Shadow in the shade Starlight. This is one of my go-to products for brides. I actually have my own, and I do also love the shade Kitten for brides as well. But I'm going for a pretty bright, like, shimmer, so I wanted to use this one instead of Kitten because Kitten is more of like a champagne pink-ish, like gold, where this is more of like a light ivory. And I'm just gonna take like a little brush and just kind of blend out what I just applied before I go in with the shadow that we're gonna be using, which is actually a pigment. And for the lid, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Starlit Powder in 13. This is a gorgeous ivory. Again, perfect for bridal eyes. I love it so much. It's so pretty. So I'm just gonna put some, oh my god, I just put a lot. I'm gonna put a lot in the cap, not some. It just kind of poured out. And I'm gonna work this on top of the powder, not the powder, the liquid shadow that we applied. I like cannot talk today. It's bad. If you really wanted to make this eyeshadow pop, of course you could wet your brush. That's gonna make it like super intense. But I think I'm gonna save that for when we do the inner corner highlight maybe. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Let me do the inner corner highlight now before we go in with wing liner, because I feel like sometimes when you wait till after wing liner, it just kind of gets on the eyeliner anyway. And I'm just gonna use this same shade that we just applied. That's going to be my inner corner highlight. And I'm just going to take it on this little pencil brush and just really blend it into this area. Now going in with the last brown that we used, I'm just going to apply that on my brush and just kind of pat it in this area to mesh the two colors together, the lid color and the crease colors together. And for liner, I'm going to be using the NYX matte liquid liner because I like the brush tip on this, but then we're going to go over it with the COVERGIRL Get In Line matte liquid liner because that one is way more matte than this one and way more intense in color. I don't love this NYX one. I don't know why people... I don't personally love the formula. I get like why people like the brush on it because it's super fine, but I don't love the formula of it. I really don't. But we're going to use this for the fine tip. And I'm going to create a wing. Not every bride likes a wing, but you know, I do think it gives you a really pretty shape to your eyes. If you're a crier, I probably wouldn't do a wing just because there's more of a chance of it running. Even if you use a waterproof eyeliner, I just wouldn't want to mess it up. So yeah, if you're a crier, I'd probably skip the wing, but if not, go for it. Okay, so I used the matte liquid liner. Now I'm just going to go in with the COVERGIRL one. And again, just kind of go over the line just to make it really intense. And then I'm just going to take this dark brown right here. And I'm going to kind of, I guess you can say, like, smoke out this outer edge. I mean, you could keep it like a super defined liner like we have, but I like to just add a little bit of darkness on this outer corner and make it a little bit more smoky. Okay, for the lower lash line, I'm going to be taking a nude liner. So I really like nude for brides. I feel like it really just opens up the eyes. However, I also really like a brown, because that really makes your eyes pop. So it really just depends on what you like, but I think I'm going to go for the nude today. And then going back in with one of the browns, whatever brown you want, I'm just going to take one of the browns that we use and I'm going to apply that on the lower lash line. Now I'm just going to take the bronzer and use this to blend out that lower lash line a little bit. Okay, so I kind of want to make the eyeshadow pop just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Viseart eyeshadow. I do not know the name of it. It came in my Ipsy box, but it is just this random ivory eyeshadow by Viseart. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of that and then spray my brush and apply this on top of our eyeshadow that we already applied, just again to make the eyes pop a little bit more and just kind of brighten up that shadow. You could use if you're looking for like a dupe, I feel like the highlight shades, the like brow bone shades from the original Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe would be perfect for this. So yeah. Okay, now we are going to apply mascara and apply lashes. So what am I going to use for lashes? I think I'm going to go in with some pretty dramatic lashes. Okay, so I think I am going to use them. At first I thought maybe they're too much, but honestly I kind of like the fullness of them. So I'm going to apply these, a little bit of mascara. These are number 31s off of AliExpress. Okay, so eyes are done and I absolutely love them. I think that they are beautiful. And what's great about this look is you can customize it. So if you're not one that really likes big full lashes, you don't have to do lashes like this. This look would still look so beautiful with more natural lashes. So it's kind of versatile because you can make it super glam, you could even darken up the crease a little bit, or you can make it a little bit softer. But I love this. This is like perfect for me. So now we're gonna move on to lips. Fun fact, by the way, I only have one earring on because I couldn't find the other one. So I was like, my hair is covering up this ear, so yeah, we're just gonna put one in. But anyways, for the lips, I do have some lip balm on, so I'm gonna wipe that off just so the products aren't like slipping and sliding all over. Luna lip liner. So this is a brown. You know what, I need to sharpen this, hold on. So when it comes to bridal lips, I do love a good nude, but I like to add a little bit of like a pink tone to my nude and not make it super neutral. Just for photo purposes, I feel like when there's a little bit of pink in there, it just photographs better. So that's what we're gonna be going for. But of course, if you wanted to do a bold lip with this look, you totally could. It depends on, you know, the look you're going for. And I'm gonna actually use 2 lip liners, I decided, because I'm extra. And I'm gonna be taking NYX Light Brown, and I'm just gonna define my lips a little bit more with this. And I can't remember if I mentioned, but I am overlining. Now I'm taking my favorite nude. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there in my like top 5, which is MAC Blankety. I think it's such a pretty nude for brides. Like, I don't know. I really like it. And then I was gonna add a little bit of Best of Me, but honestly, I don't know. It's just another MAC lipstick. Okay, I just added like the tiniest bit on the center of my lips. And now I'm gonna go in with MAC Snob, which is basically like a light pink gloss. You could use any gloss. You could use a gloss with maybe just like, that's like clear with a little bit of shimmer, but I kind of want to add a little bit more of like a pink to this. So again, I'm just gonna use MAC Snob. That is it. I'm just gonna spray my face with a little bit of setting spray. I'm just using the Smashbox Photofinish setting spray. And I'm actually gonna add a little bit of highlighter to my chest because I feel like every bride needs a little bit of highlight. I'm just gonna take this highlighter by Focular Beauty, and I'm just gonna take a big brush, like my typical powder brush, and I'm just gonna apply that to my chest. Alright you guys, so that concludes my bridal makeup tutorial today. Keep a lookout for more videos for this series. I hope you guys liked it. If you have any requests at all, please leave them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram to stay updated with my looks, because I don't post as much on YouTube as I do on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!